I'm Erin Soes, the Director of Children's Ministries here at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. I want to welcome you to our St. Paul's neighborhood. In this video series, I'd like to introduce you to some of our staff, volunteers, visitors, and those people that make St. Paul's a special place to be. We are blessed with so many amazing people here at St. Paul's. Today, I'd like to introduce you to just one of those very special people. Good. Welcome to our St. Paul's neighborhood. I want to introduce you to our St. Paul's neighborhood family. And I want to introduce everybody to Alaine, Fink. She's our musician and our organist here at St. Paul's. And Alaine, could you just tell us how long you've been working here at St. Paul's?
So I've been working at St. Paul's for about 8 years and 5 months.
That's pretty specific.
8 years and 5
we are
months.
blessed to have you here. And so could you tell us a little bit about what you do here? When do you play the piano or the organ? We know you're here every Sunday, but otherwise, when else are you playing the organ for us?
Well, every Wednesday I'm here from September through May for choir rehearsal.
Okay.
So I spend some time picking out my own music. And then between Wednesday and Sunday, I have to find a couple days to come in and practice. But it takes a lot of work on my own and by myself.
Okay.
So then I get, real quiet time and not a lot of interruptions and can do some really focused work to get the product for Sunday morning.
What about, do you play for the funerals or weddings or any other events that happen in our St. Paul's neighborhood?
I do when I'm able to.
Okay.
And if I'm not able to, they have a list of substitute organists that they can call, because a lot of times, especially with funerals, I have other jobs during the week, so I can't always be here for them. For weddings, I love to play weddings. And it was one of my favorite things when I first came to St. Paul's. I said, this is the first church I've ever worked at where we have more weddings than we have funerals.
Aww.
And so it's really nice to be part of that community of youth and vibrant people.
Oh, well, we love having you here, and you're a blessing to us for sure. So just for the kids that are watching our video today, could you tell us, when did you start playing the piano or the organ, or do you play other instruments? How
Sure.
did you become a professional musician?
Well, I started playing when I was 6.
Okay.
Piano. When I was 10, I started playing the oboe. By the time I was 12, I knew that I wanted to be a collaborative pianist, which is really strange. Most people don't know what they want to be when they're 12. And so I worked really hard for it and practiced a lot. Some days while I was in school, in high school and middle school, full time, I would still go home and practice 2 or 3 hours a night on top of the homework.
Wow, that's dedication.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a true passion and a talent that God has given you. So that's good for our children to hear, mm-hmm. that you can be a musician through hard work.
Yep, lots of hard work.
Nice.
And it was in college that I first started playing the organ. And I really didn't play the organ very well. So at 35 years of age, I started really studying the organ. That was challenging. And anytime you learn a new instrument at an older age, it's quite a bit more difficult than learning when you're younger. Huh. So it took some time, but it was a fun process, and it helped me in teaching my own students because I got to go through the process of relearning an instrument.
So you shared that you have some other jobs. Could you just share with our St. Paul's neighborhood some of the other things that you do with your musical talents?
Sure. So I teach at Pittsburgh Kappa. If you don't know what Kappa stands for, it's Creative and Performing Arts. Now it's a school for 6th through 12th grade, and I teach every grade level piano majors. Some of the other things I do My sister and I have an organ and piano duo, and so we have some exciting stuff in the planning that hopefully St. Paul's will be able to be a part of. But I perform with her. I perform with different members of the community. Like I said, I'm trained as a collaborative pianist. So if somebody wants to put on a solo viola recital, they need to have a pianist playing with them. And
could you explain to us what a collaborative pianist is for those of us who don't know?
Sure. So a solo pianist really just plays by themselves. A collaborative pianist plays with other people. An instrumental soloist, sometimes it's a singer, sometimes you might be playing in small chamber groups of 3 or 4 different instruments. It's just a lot more fun when you have other people there to do it with. So
nice. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Could you show us some of the specialties of the organ, the buttons, the pedals?
Sure, come on over.
All the special things?
The first thing you need to know about playing the organ is it requires some special shoes. So I'm going to take a second and change my shoes. And now I am ready for the organ. So Miss Aaron, I think you had asked me to show some of what happens here. And
I see buttons, and I see piano keys, and I see pedals and silver pull knobs.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of all this you can see, but these are set up just like the piano, and so I can make each row of keys have a different sound. For example, that's called the chrome horn, and it's a reedy sort of sound, almost sounding like a clarinet. Here, I have my flute stops on, and you can hear it sounds a bit like a flute. And up here we have some string sounds and a French horn up here. So this is really fun because you can make yourself, or try to make yourself, sound like a whole symphony orchestra with all these different families of instruments, strings, reed, brass, So that's the main keyboards. Now all these things here control those sounds. So when I pull one out, for example, up here I had the French horn. But I might say, no, I don't really want the French horn. I want an English horn. So I push the French horn in, pull the English horn out, and now I have a lovely English horn. I could also have a very, very, if I do it, loud trumpet up there. So we've got all these different sounds controlled by just pulling out these buttons and pushing them in. I've got these 5 big pedals for my feet, and each one of them controls the volume. The first 4 control the volume for each one of the keyboards here. Then the one on the far right changes the volume for all the keyboards. We call that the crescendo pedal, and I'm sure you've heard the word crescendo. It means to get louder, and so if I'm playing, especially if I'm playing with the brass, I need to get louder and louder and louder, and this pedal just turns everything up, turns all the volume up. If I hit this with my toe, we get what's called the Zimbelstern, which sounds like tinkling bells. And sometimes you'll hear that around Christmas time, Christmas Eve, that's a nice Christmassy one. Sometimes in the spring or summer, we'll use something that just has that shimmery sound. So my feet are controlling 5 pedals, these stops, and then a whole keyboard to themselves. Look at that, no hands.
Wow.
So we can do notes here, we can do notes here, stops here, volumes here. Would you like to hear a little tune?
We would love to hear anything you'd like to share with us from the organ playing.
Great.
Alaine.
Can you
Thank
name that
so
tune,
much.
Miss Erin?
I cannot. I have probably the least musical talent of anybody in St. Paul's neighborhood.
I'm not going to give it away, but for the children who are watching this, see if you can name that tune. I'd love to see who could get me the answer first.
That's a great challenge. We'll
Yep.
put that out to our St. Paul's neighborhood
Great.
and see if anybody can come back and name that tune to Miss Alaine. And just as we're finishing up our conversation, if one of our children or a student would want to learn how to play the organ, how do you go about that? I know you said you didn't learn till you were older.
So there are some things. Most organists start on the piano.
Okay.
Because it's easier to get the fingers, moving and stuff on one keyboard than it is on some organs. Only have 2 keyboards. Some have 3. Some have 4. Some have 5. So it's just easier to start learning the notes and rhythms and how to read on the piano. But transitioning to organ, again, the younger you do it, the better it is. And we do have something here in Pittsburgh called the Pittsburgh Organ Academy. And for anybody who's interested in it, you have to audition. You have to be able to play some basic piano. But the American Guild of Organists, which we call the AGO, they donate, organists in the guild donate their services, and you can get, depending on whether you're a level 1 student, level 2, level 3, or level 4, you get a certain number of free lessons throughout the year.
Well,
So
terrific.
that would be something that anybody who can already play the piano a little bit, if you're interested in that, I would be happy to get you more information.
Well, thank you, Miss Alaine. And we just appreciate so much you being part of our St. Paul's neighborhood. You are truly a blessing to us. And I just want to share a little bit of something that I know special about you that other people may not. And Miss Alaine likes to eat very healthy, and she likes vegetables and fruits. So one thing that Miss Alaine and I do is sometimes, occasionally, we share a recipe. So today,
Oh,
I have a recipe to share with you, and it's
nice.
Roasted cauliflower and chickpea soup.
Awesome.
And so I'm sharing
Thank
the
you.
recipe, and I'm giving you the main ingredient.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of our neighborhood.
Thank you so much, Miss Erin. I'm
You're
excited.
welcome.
Thank you. I look forward to having everyone back.
Bye-bye.
Our St. Paul's neighborhood is filled with so many amazing people. We are blessed to have so many amazing people in our St. Paul's neighborhood. Do you know of someone you'd like to meet in our St. Paul's neighborhood? Is there a ministry you'd like to know more about? Email me at esouza@stpaulsumc.com, and maybe we can meet your friend in our St. Paul's neighborhood.